Now when it comes to motherhood or already having a family and having your own children, nothing is more useful than understanding the blueprint of your child's energetic makeup. So no matter what DNA is there, the DNA component where there are traits from the family line that are passed down, there is also the blueprint of the individual, the expression, and the date of birth, the time of birth, and location of birth provide a really good understanding of the blueprint of the energy pattern of you, your children, your husband, and any other family members. In my years of studying astrology, my biggest challenge was essentially trying to get clear answers to certain questions, but astrology always left a vague interpretation of what to expect. So when I discovered human design, it really gave me the clarity that I needed to understand myself better and my family better. And as a result, I have a better understanding of how to motivate my children, how to bring their nature out, their true nature out, and when to remind them that certain things aren't going to work for them if they continue with certain behavioral patterns, and they're just going to find more resistance that way. So I help them understand where they're going to find flow, and I also understand where they're going to find resistance. And as a result, we have a dynamic at home that is, for the most part, pretty harmonious. We have our challenges like any family, but at the same time, we understand each other much better. So, besides emotion code and body code energy healing, I find that releasing trauma and or emotional repressed energy is only half of the equation. The other is trying to understand ourselves better energetically. The more we understand how we express ourselves best and where we can fall into shadow or detriment, allows us to have our own little internal compass and or map of our energetic makeup, and as a result, what we're able to do is we're able to better understand how we can work our energy in favor of a more benevolent outcome, more benevolent atmosphere that we want to create. And as a result, I find that human design is a great supportive and empowering type of practice that I integrate into my healing. So if you ever want to get a free life theme reading, both for you or your children or even your husband, to get a better understanding of what makes them tick and what gets them in flow and where they'll find resistance, I'd be happy to provide this information for you, just to help you find a better connection and realize what your children will teach you, what your partners will teach you, and what you can teach them as well. In regards to the details of human design, there's about 5 general types. There starts with a manifester, then a generator, then there's also a hybrid of that, a manifesting generator, which is what I carry as a bit of a blueprint, and then there's the projector, sort of like a visionary, someone who sees what's coming, sees the direction that we should be going in, and then the last one is someone who is essentially a mirror to the rest of the world, called a reflector. And by understanding some of these nuances of human design, you'll get a better understanding of where you are receptive, and where you can be a bit of a sponge, or where pressure might be created, and where you're solid or rooted, and where you're defined, so you don't have to worry about outside influence affecting you as much. And so when you take in this energy that you're receiving from the external environment, the more you know about how to handle it, the better you can handle it. So in essence, what I do isn't just healing. I also provide a sense of understanding of oneself, and the polarity of play from light to dark in those areas. So the more we understand that, the better we'll be able to navigate through life with a sense of purpose, joy, and understanding. And also, key part of it is that when we understand what the emotions are saying, we will also understand where they're coming from. So, for example, in the spleen area, that's where your immune system is, where blood cells are stored to fight off disease and infection and viruses. So that would be your fear-oriented or awareness center. And then you have your emotional center, which basically just absorbs other types of emotions. And then you have your identity center, which would be around the whole anger component, security, integrity, so on and so forth. And then there's the root center, which is all about creative force and the uplift towards something that is in your favor or not. And then, of course, there's the other centers in the chart, and I'm going to show some diagrams as to what a human design chart looks like, and defined centers versus receptive centers, and how it's going to help you understand where you're going to find some limitations and where you can find expansion and find that means to get to your full potential. So thank you very much for the time you've spent with me today, and enjoyed the reference for the slides there, and I look forward to providing you with some understanding after this presentation is done. Thank you very much.